Selections from the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Part 13, Hints on Practical Spirituality, delivered at the Home of Truth, Los Angeles, California. Section 2. According to the yogis, there are three principal nerve currents in the body. One they call the Ida, the other the Pingala, and the middle one the Sushumna, and all these are inside the spinal column. The Ida and Pingala, the left and right, are cluster of nerves, while the middle one, the Sushumna, is hollow and it is not a cluster of nerves. This Sushumna is closed and for the ordinary man is of no use, for he works through the Ida and Pingala only. Currents are continually going down and coming up through these nerves, carrying orders all over the body through other nerves running to the different organs of the body. It is the regulation and the bringing into rhythm of the Ida and Pingala that is the great object of breathing. But that itself is nothing. It is only so much air taken into the lungs, except for purifying the blood, it is of no more use. There is nothing occult in the air that we take in with our breath and assimilate to purify the blood. The action is merely a motion. This motion can be reduced to the unit moment we call prana, and everywhere all movements are the various manifestations of this prana. This prana is electricity, it is magnetism, it is thrown out by the brain as thought. Everything is prana. It is moving the sun, the moon, and the stars. We say whatever is in the universe has been projected by the vibration of the prana. The highest result of vibration is thought. If there be any higher, we cannot conceive of it. The nerves Ida and Pingala work through the prana. It is the prana that is moving every part of the body, becoming the different forces. Give up that old idea that God is something that produces the effect and sits on a throne dispensing justice. In working, we become exhausted because we use up so much prana. The breathing exercises called pranayama bring about regulation of the breathing, rhythmic action of the prana. When the prana is working rhythmically, everything works properly. When the yogis get control over their own bodies, if there is any disease in any part, they know that the prana is not rhythmic there, and they direct the prana to the affected part until the rhythm is re-established. Just as you can control the prana in your own body, so if you are powerful enough, you can control even from here another man's prana in India. It is all one. There is no break. Unity is a law. Physically and mentally, psychically, morally, metaphysically, it is all one. Life is only a vibration. That which vibrates, this ocean of ether vibrates you. Just as in a lake, various strata of ice of various degrees of solidity are formed, or as in an ocean of vapor there are various degrees of density, so is this universe an ocean of matter. This is an ocean of ether, in which we find the sun, moon, stars, and ourselves, in different states of solidity. But the continuity is not broken. It is the same throughout. Now, when we study metaphysics, we come to know the world is one, not that the spiritual, the material, the mental, and the world of energies are separate. It is all one, but seen from different planes of vision. When you think of yourself as a body, you forget that you are a mind. And when you think of yourself as a mind, you will forget the body. There is only one thing that you are. You can see it either as matter or body, or you can see it as mind or spirit. Birth, life, and death are but old superstitions. None was ever born, none will ever die. One changes one's position, that is all. I am sorry to see in the West how much they make of death, always trying to catch a little life. Give us life after death, give us life. They are so happy if anybody tells them that they are going to live afterwards. How can I ever doubt such a thing? How can I imagine that I am dead? Try to think of yourself as dead, and you will see that you are present to see your own dead body. Life is such a wonderful reality that you cannot for a moment forget it. You may as well doubt that you exist. This is the first fact of consciousness. I am. Who can imagine a state of things which never existed? It is the most self evident of all truths. So, the idea of immortality is inherent in man. How can one discuss a subject that is unimaginable? Why should we want to discuss the pros and cons of a subject that is self evident? The whole universe, therefore, is a unit from which, whatever standpoint you view it. Just now, to us, this universe is a unit of prana and akasha, force and matter. And mind you, like all other basic principles, that is also self contradictory. For what is force? That which moves matter, and what is matter? That which is moved by force. It's a seesaw. Some of the fundamentals of our reasoning are most curious in spite of our boast of science and knowledge. It is a headache without a head, as the Sanskrit proverb says. This state of things has been called Maya. It has neither existence nor non existence. You cannot call it existence because that only exists which is beyond time and space, which is self existent. Yet, this world satisfies to a certain degree our idea of existence. Therefore, it has an apparent existence. But there is a real existence in and through everything, and that reality, as it were, is caught in the meshes of time, space, and causation. There is real man, the infinite, the beginningless, the endless, the ever blessed, the ever free. He has been caught in the meshes of time, space, and causation. So has everything in this world. The reality of everything is the same infinite. This is not idealism. It is not that the world does not exist. It has a relative existence and fulfills all its requirements. But it has no independent existence. It exists because of the absolute reality beyond time, space, and causation. I have made long digressions. Now, let us return to our main subject. All the automatic movements and all the conscious movements are the working of prana through the nerves. Now you see, it will be very good thing to have control over the unconscious actions. On some other occasion, I told you the definition of God and man. Man is an infinite circle whose circumference is nowhere, but the center is located in one spot. And God is an infinite circle whose circumference is nowhere, but whose center is everywhere. He works through all hands, sees through all eyes, walks on all feet, breathes through all bodies, lives in all life, speaks through every mouth, and thinks through every brain. Man can become like God and acquire control over the whole universe if he multiplies infinitely his center of self consciousness. Consciousness, therefore, is the chief thing to understand. Let us say that here is an infinite line amid darkness. We do not see the line, but on it there is one luminous point which moves on. As it moves along the line, it lights up its different parts in succession, and all that is left behind becomes dark again. Our consciousness may well be likened to this luminous point. Its past experiences have been replaced by the present or have become subconscious. We are not aware of their presence in us, but they are there, unconsciously influencing our body and mind. Every movement that is now being made without the help of consciousness was previously conscious. Sufficient impetus has been given to it to work of itself. The great error in all ethical systems, without exception, has been the failure of teaching the means by which man could refrain from doing evil. All the systems of ethics teach do not steal. Very good. But why does a man steal? Because all stealing, robbing, and other evil actions, as a rule, have become automatic. The systematic robber, thief, liar, unjust man, and woman are all these people in spite of themselves. It is really a tremendous psychological problem. We should look upon man in the most charitable light. It is not so easy to be good. What are you but mere machines until you are free? Should you be proud because you are good? Certainly not. You are good because you cannot help it. Another is bad because he cannot help it. If you were in his position, who knows what would you have been done? The woman in the street or the thief in the jail is the Christ that is being sacrificed that you may be a good man. Such is the law of balance. All the thieves and the murderers, all the unjust, the weakest, the wickedest, the devils, they all are my Christ. I over worship to the God Christ and to the demon Christ. That is my doctrine. I cannot help it. My salutation goes to the feet of the good, the saintly, and to the feet of the wicked and the devilish. They are all my teachers. All are my spiritual fathers. All are my saviors. I may curse one and yet benefit by his failings. I may bless another and benefit by his good deeds. This is as true as that I stand here. I have to sneer at the woman walking in the street because society wants it. She, my savior, she whose street walking is the cause of the chastity of other women. Think of that. Think, men and women, of this question in your mind. It is a truth, a bare, bold truth. As I see more of the world, see more of men and women, this conviction goes stronger. Whom shall I blame? Whom shall I praise? Both sides of the shield must be seen. The task before us is vast, and the first and foremost we must seek to control the vast mass of sunken thoughts which have become automatic with us. The evil deed is no doubt on the conscious plane, but the cause which produced the evil deed was far beyond in the realms of the unconscious, unseen, and therefore more potent. Practical psychology directs first of all its energies in controlling the unconscious, and we know that we can do it. Why? Because we know the cause of the unconscious. The unconscious thoughts are the submerged millions of our old conscious thoughts, old conscious actions become petrified. We do not look at them, do not know them, have forgotten them. But mind you, if the power of evil is in the unconscious, so also is the power of good. We have many things stored in us as in a pocket. We have forgotten them, do not even think of them. There are many of them, rotting, becoming positively dangerous. They come forth, the unconscious causes which kill humanity. True psychology would therefore try to bring them under the control of the conscious. The great task is to revive the whole man, as it were, in order to make him the complete master of himself. Even what we call the automatic action of the organs within our bodies, such as the liver, etc., can be made to obey our commands. This is the first part of the study, the control of the unconscious. The next is to go beyond the conscious. Just as unconscious work is beneath consciousness, so there is another work which is above consciousness. When this superconscious state is reached, man becomes free and divine. Death becomes immortality. Weakness becomes infinite power, and iron bondage becomes liberty. That is the goal, the infinite realm of the superconscious. So therefore, we see now that there must be a twofold work. First, by the proper working of the Ida and the Pingala, which are the two existing ordinary currents to control the subconscious action, and secondly, to go beyond even consciousness. The books say that he alone is the yogi who, after long practice in self-concentration, has attained to this truth. The Sushumna now opens, and a current which never before entered into this new passage will find its way into it and gradually ascend to what we call in figurative language the different lotus centers, till at last it reaches the brain. Then the yogi becomes conscious of what he really is, God Himself. Everyone, without exception, every one of us can attain to this culmination of yoga. But it is a terrible task. If a person wants to attain to this truth, he will have to do something more than listen to lectures and take a few breathing exercises. Everything lies in the preparation. How long does it take to strike a light? Only a second. But how long it takes to make the candle? How long does it take to eat a dinner? Perhaps half an hour. But hours to prepare the food. We want to strike the light in a second, but we forget that the making of the candle is the chief thing. But though it is so hard to reach the goal, yet even our smallest attempts are not in vain. We know that nothing is lost. In Gita, Arjuna asks Krishna, those who fail in attaining perfection in yoga in this life, are they destroyed like the clouds of summer? Krishna replies, nothing, my friend, is lost in this world. Whatever one does, that remains as one's own. And if the fruition of yoga does not come in this life, one takes it up again in the next birth. Otherwise, how do you explain the marvelous childhood of Jesus, Buddha, and Adi Shankaracharya? Breathing, posturing, etc. are no doubt helps in yoga, but they are merely physical. The great preparations are mental. The first thing necessary is a quiet and peaceable life. If you want to be a yogi, you must be free and place yourself in circumstances where you are alone and free from all anxiety. He who desires a comfortable and nice life and at the same time wants to realize the self is like the fool who, wanting to cross the river, caught hold of a crocodile, mistaking it for a log of wood. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything shall be added unto you. This is one great duty. This is renunciation. Live for an ideal, and leave no place in the mind for anything else. Let us put forth all our energies to acquire that which never fails, our spiritual perfection. If we have true yearning for realization, we must struggle, and through struggle, growth will come. We shall make mistakes, but they may be angels unawares. The greatest help to spiritual life is meditation, that is dhyana. In meditation, we divest ourselves of all material conditions and feel our divine nature. We do not depend upon any external help in meditation. The touch of the soul can paint the brightest color even in the dingiest places. It can cast a fragrance over the vilest thing. It can make the wicked divine, and all enmity, all selfishness is effaced. The less the thought of the body, the better, for it is the body that drags us down. It is attachment, identification which makes us miserable. That is the secret, to think that I am the spirit and not the body, and that whole of this universe with all its relations, with all its good and all its evil, is but as a series of paintings, scenes on a canvas, of which I am the witness.